My pizza oven has given me a great new outdoor kitchen space, but I've got nowhere to prepare anything. So I'm going to make a wooden concrete kitchen island to solve all my problems. These are the tools and materials required to make a wooden and concrete kitchen island. It'll be a fantastic feature in your kitchen, and it is essentially made up of two components. You have the concrete slab top and the wooden base. You can get all of your timber base pre-cut at your local Bunnings store. The only thing you'll have to do yourself is a couple of miter joins. This is the form ply required to make the mould for the concrete slab top. This is my base piece, and this piece I'm going to use to rip for the sides. Don't forget to set the guide on your circular saw, that way you'll get a nice straight cut all the way through. I've now ripped the lengths. To do the sides, the easiest thing to do is just make sure one edge is flush and then just mark the other with some pencil. Now that I've got my four sides cut, I need to pre-drill and fix them together. I'm going to give this concrete slab a little bit of finesse by using this tripod. I'll pop it in here, like so, and what that does is just give it a bit of a nicer edge. You can do this as well, or you can leave it with a square edge. Because I don't want my slab to have any sharp corner edges, I'm going to insert some tripod into there as well. Once you've got it fixed in, you can cut off the excess from the top. Because this is going to be the mould, you don't have to worry about it looking pretty. Now that the mould is complete, I need to take it outside and pour in the concrete. You need to spray the mould with a silicone-based lubricant so the concrete doesn't adhere to the mould itself. You need Rio mesh to make sure the concrete stays nice and strong. I've already inserted mine. I've centralised it within the actual mould itself, but you need to make sure it's suspended because you don't want it appearing at the top of your slab. To do this, I've used some Rio bar to help keep it suspended. Before even starting to make your concrete mix, make sure your mould is nice, level and flush. For the concrete slab, I'm using 4 bags of ready mix concrete and half a bag of general purpose cement. I'm also going to be adding some bondcrete into the water mixture to give it that added strength. Once your mixture's ready, you need to shovel it into the mould, start to level it off by using a trowel, and make sure you tap around all the edges to remove any air bubbles. While the slab's setting, I'm going to start on the wooden base. To begin with, we're going to do the top outer frame, which requires miter joins on each corner, and it's basically a large rectangular picture frame. So set your saw to the first 45-degree miter, cut off the end, and then do your measurement to make sure you've got the right length, and then do your next miter cut. I now have the basic outer frame ready to be put together, so I'm just going to use a fixing gun just to secure it and hold it in place before pre-drilling and screwing it together. So I have my 2 Merbau legs. I'm going to place a piece of bracing across the top and also some at the bottom for my bottom shelf. To make sure the bottom's evenly spaced, I'm just going to use a scrap bit of Merbau timber that I have here as a spacer. I'll measure it to make sure it's nice and square, otherwise when you put it on the floor, it's going to be all wonky and you really don't want that. It's always a great idea to do pilot holes, especially with a timber like Merbau because it is so hard. You don't want the screw to split your posts. So once I've made my second pair of legs, I'm going to fit all 4 of them into the top of the frame. Position the legs in the frame, making sure they're nice and square. Once that's done, countersink, pre-drill and fix them in. I'm about to make a bottom shelf. Not only does it help add stability for the weight of the concrete slab to go on top, but you can put anything you like underneath on it. As with the top, I'm going to repeat the same process to put the shelf together as well. Now I need to fit the shelf frame onto the actual legs. To secure the slats, I'm just going to use the fixing nail to hold them in place so then I can countersink, pre-drill and screw them down. I'm going to use this piece of timber so I can evenly space my slats. As you can see, concreting waits for no one. That's why I'm screeding and edging under these lights, because I need to leave it overnight to dry. The concrete slab will be really heavy, so make sure you definitely have some people around to help. I'm going for a really robust industrial look, so I only need to give this top a light sand. But if you're after something a bit more polished or refined, you'll need to give it either more sanding or use a grinder. How fantastic does this look? It can be used indoors or outdoors. I'm going to place this outdoors near my pizza oven. It's so robust it will last years. This wooden concrete kitchen island is fantastic. The concrete slab has a really nice earthy tone about it, and it's super tough and industrial. By allowing that extra little bit of effort by putting in the quad, you can see it's given it a really nice edge and finish. Do you remember how empty this courtyard space was? How great does it look now with this wooden concrete bench as well as my pizza oven? Both of them combined together make for a fantastic outdoor feature.